Next Level Mindset. Once again, in this powerful and positive video, we're talking about 7 ways to never get pushed around again. I'm going to share my experience with that, sharing what worked for me that I know will work for you. Make sure you stay with me on this all the way through. I've got some bonus PowerPoints, insights, affirmations I use to push back. You would not get it like this anywhere else. By the fact that you're watching and listening to this right now, this is confirmation that you're not going to fall for it. This is an early bonus point. Number 1, most people are only pushy because they're allowed to get away with it. We'll talk more about that as we get into this. So the first way to never get pushed around again is to speak up and speak out. Let people know that you refuse to fall for it. Let them know that you're on a certain level using your voice. This is one thing that has really worked for me. I can always get to the point where I only accept those things that are in line with the truth, in line with fact, in line with my true authenticity, and my own identity, right? Think about that for yourself. Always be willing to speak up, to speak out. Remember that your voice is your power, and it's crucial for you to let other people know where you stand on certain issues. And we'll talk more about that coming up in a minute. So powerful to let them know, whether it's a small disagreement or a big issue, they'll find out that you're not going to fall for it, right? And so it took me a while in my life to realize that I never really have to let someone else silence me and make me feel like my opinion doesn't matter. My thoughts doesn't matter. My facts, my experience, right? There's another way. And as a student of philosophy, a student of studies and truth, I know that our words have power. We can speak things into existence, and we can let people know how we feel in the moment. There's 3 powerful words we can use. Let me finish. Keep those 3 powerful words in mind. Let me finish. And so there are times when you're going to have to just simply speak up, use your voice, speak out, be firm and final. Let me finish, and let other people know that you've got something that you want to speak on. You've got something that you want to say, and you're not going to be pushed around by the nonsense. Your voice is a superpower and can let other people know you've got something to say. You may be able to say one thing that'll change someone's life. Your words of power could be that one way to shift your life to a new level in your living. So be willing to speak out. Let it be known that you've got something to say and it's going to be heard. And the second way to never get pushed around again is to know where you stand on the issues. Let other people know that you've got your own opinion. You've got your own feedback. You've got your own beliefs. You've got your own set of facts. The one thing about this is there's so much going on in the world, right? You got politics, president elections coming up, different wars all over the place. And that's why it's so important to let people know where you stand on these issues. And you don't have to agree with everyone and don't have to require them to agree with you. As a matter of fact, I've got this one affirmation that says, I have released the need for anyone to do anything different or be different than they are. I have given others their freedom. And in doing so, I am free as well. So I free myself from the need to even have to worry about on where they stand on certain issues. As long as I respect where they stand, let them know that this is where I stand. So I want to encourage you and empower you. Take some time and reflect on your beliefs. Reflect on what matters to you. Reflect on your values. Because it's going to be a time when someone is going to come around with their own interests in mind, and you'll be able to let them know this is where you stand on the issue. That will eliminate other pushy people, like I talked about earlier. A lot of people are only pushy because they've been allowed to get away with it. But we're going to put a stop to that, right? Let them know this is who I am. This is where I stand. Let your words be final. That is a powerful way to push back on those who want to be pushy and push you around. You can live your life and never have to get pushed around again simply by knowing where you stand on the issues at hand. And the third way, the next way to never get pushed around again, is to be willing to say no. It took me a long time to just be able to tell people, no, I'm not going to go for that. There is so much power in that one word, no. No power is the only power that we really need. So think about that, and think about the last time someone approached you. Maybe they had certain values in mind and they wanted you to be a part of it. Did you say yes because you didn't want to offend them? I found out that along my journey in my life, a lot of times I just didn't say no because I didn't want to be offensive to other people. But I had to learn that we all can choose how we're going to feel at any moment, at any time. And pushy people will come around trying to make you do their thing, trying to make what's yours become theirs. But you don't have to fall for it. That word, that one word, no, is such a powerful thing. And people will respect you more when they know that you're not just going to go along with anything. You're going to be real, be your authentic self. We'll talk more about that as well. Yeah, be willing and ready to say no. Have your no ready. And that alone will let people know that you're not the one that get pushed around. You're not going to fall for it. You're on a path taking you to that next level. And if you're part of the family, you already know that's how we like to do it to get it done. Next level mindset. That's where it's at. And by the way, if you're new here or you've been here before and you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 5K. If you want to stay empowered and inspired together, we would love to have you here at Next Level. And the fourth way, the next powerful way to never get pushed around again, is to know your purpose and be willing to work towards fulfilling that purpose. It took me a while to realize that I didn't have to wait until I heard a voice from heaven, right? I could decide from my own passions. I could decide from my gifts. There's certain things that only you could do. And you could take that and design your life around your purpose. Know your purpose, because when people know that you know what you want, they're less likely to try to impose upon you their way of life. And pushy people, they've been allowed to get away with it. That's why they still do it. But you and me can be different. We can choose to know what we're here to do. Usually a purpose will have 3 elements. Number 1, something that you love to do. Brings you joy, you're passionate about it. Number 2, something that could benefit other people, be a blessing to them. And number 3, you can get paid to do it. They're willing to invest in you for this purpose. So yeah, know your purpose. Know what you've been here to do. Know what you're designed to do. Know what you desire to do, and you can do it. This is a powerful way to keep pushy people at bay. And what I found in my life is there are going to be times when I do something and it doesn't turn out well. There's a failure involved. And I have this saying that I use every setback as a stepping stone. I use what appears to be failure and learn what doesn't work and what does. But when I know my purpose, when I know what I'm here to do, and one thing about it, when you really know what you're here to do, you're driven and you have that goal in mind, you'll push back on anything that does not serve your highest good. And that's one thing that we have to do. Push back on it. Don't fall for it. You're bigger than that. You're greater than that. So know your purpose. Create a purpose from your heart. Use those 3 methods we talked about, and that'll definitely help you out on knowing what you're here to do. As a matter of fact, I have a video. It talks about how to know your purpose, how to know what you're designed to do. What's your purpose? I'll put a card for that right there, and you can check that video out at your own time. And definitely knowing your purpose, knowing what you're here to do, keeps those pushy people away and lets them know that you're not going to fall for it. And the 5th way, the next powerful way to never get pushed around again, is to make clarity a way of life. I've gotten to the point where right now I like to make it clear. Those 3 powerful words. In fact, I got a place where now I've got them written down and pasted on my walls in certain places by the mirror. 3 words, make it clear. Clarity is such a powerful thing. And when you are clear about what you want, it makes it less likely that other people are going to come around trying to tell you what you need. There's nothing wrong with listening to the opinions of other people. But when I know what I want, when I make it clear, this is how it's going to be, that's powerful. You may be watching this right now and you're in a relationship, and the only thing that you're missing is you haven't made it clear about your standards. And I like to say you could raise your standards to be with me, but I refuse to lower my standards to be with you. So think about that. Maybe you're in a certain relationship. They haven't made it clear. You haven't been clear. Clarity is so powerful when it comes to dealing with those people who are pushy in your life. You can let them know you're not going to fall for it. Make it clear. This is where I stand. This is how it's going to be. And once I started becoming more clear on my goals, more clear on what I wanted to do in life, more clear on being willing to say no, more clear on the opportunities to say no to those things that are not serving me, that clarity It allowed me to have a certain power in my life, a certain aura about me, a certain energy that kept those type of people away. We all have a choice on who we're going to hang around, what we're going to focus on, how we're going to think and believe. Make it clear. 3 powerful words, make it clear. And when your clarity, I don't think that's a word. When your clarity is clear, that's your power. And the 6th way, the next powerful way to never get pushed around again, is to know that when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Every now and then, it's so important to just sit down and to readjust our plans, readjust what we're doing, how we are structuring things. And when people come around, they've got their ideas, right? They've got their own agendas in mind. When you know that you have a plan, they're less likely to push you around with their plans. You're able to stand on your firm plan. You're able to know that you're not planning to fail. You're not planning to fail because you're not failing to plan. I've learned in my life it's not just about what I can do on this day, but now I'm learning to plan for the long-term impact, 3 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years from now. There's so much power in planning, putting things together. And everything doesn't always work out the way we want them to. But I'd rather have a plan and not need one than to need a plan and not have one. That's one of my sayings. I like to put it just like that. In fact, one of my affirmations says, I am always prepared for the challenge, always ready for the unexpected. I always come through with an outstanding performance and outstanding results I can be counted on. So don't plan to fail. Don't fail to plan. Don't fail to plan by planning to fail. How are you supposed to say that? So don't fail to plan, because that will be planning to fail. And you're not like that. That's why we're here on the next level. Because if you're watching this right now, you're someone who's a spiritually minded individual living a life, choosing to be empowered in every way of your life, taking it to the next level. That's the whole concept of this channel. So I want to encourage you, know your plan, put it together, step by step, you can get it done. And the 7th way, the next powerful way to never get pushed around again, recognize your oneness with God. Recognize your oneness with a higher power. And one of my affirmations says that I am the essence of Almighty God. I am a glorious and most intelligent manifestation of this divine presence, and we are one. I like to use that affirmation because it reminds me that as long as I know that I'm connected to a divine power, it is impossible for other people to just push me around. And I talk about this oneness, connecting to this oneness. The universe wants to connect back with us, wants us to connect right back to our higher self. And a lot of times I talk about this in terms of our higher self and a lower self, that spiritual mind and the carnal mind, right? We all have a higher self that is strong, connected, divine, God in manifestation. And then we have that lower self that is always hard to please, not really stepping out on faith, always doubting. That's the lower self. But we have that higher mind that we can connect to. And so one of the things that has helped me along my journey is recognizing my true divine identity. It's helped me to let other people know I'm not going to be pushed around. You don't have to be pushed around. You can have your no ready like we talked about, because you're not going to fall for it. This is a powerful way to never get pushed around again. Know your divine identity. Know your sovereignty to the great being of God within us, that great I am. Whatever name you want to use, there's a higher power, a supreme architect that we are one with. You don't have to fall for it. Now I've got some bonus insights and my number 1 affirmation for pushing back. But first, I just want to share this with you. I've got to tell you about Amazon. If you need it, Amazon probably has it. They are the host of my songs. They host my merchandise. They also host my books, Mystic Secrets of the Bible, Divorced and Still Destined for Greatness. They are the host of my channel, so check them out with the links in the description. And if you decide to buy my books on that site, leave us a review. We'd love to know that we've been a blessing to you as well. If you are enjoying the content on my channel, consider becoming a member. We have a membership that you can join for exclusive content, behind the scenes, never seen by anyone else. You can cancel it anytime, enter on any level that you want to enter in on. And if you're a content creator, you could also create your own Buy Me a Coffee membership site as well. So make sure you do that, and that will be a great way for you to be a blessing to the channel. So if you're ready to take your life to the next level, let me hear you say, I am. Type it in the comments. Let me know I am ready to do that. So this first bonus point that I want to share, it deals with what we talked about earlier. People who are pushy, they have been allowed to get away with it. And what I've learned is that the more we use these principles, I want to encourage you, put these principles into practice. The more we put these things into practice, the stronger we'll become, and the more people will know that we're not going to fall for it. And there's an affirmation that I use to help me to push back on those who try to come against me in the wrong way. I want to share this with you. I told you I was going to share it with you. It says, I am totally confident in just being me. So I have no need to explain myself to anyone for anything at any time. So there's certain people who will come against you, trying to get you to justify your actions, trying to get you to explain things, why you're doing things a certain way. You don't have to explain. You don't have to ever explain yourself again. And another thing to keep in mind, when it comes to saying no, like we talked about earlier, a lot of people, they're not just going to take no for an answer. They're going to come against you again and again. And you really just have to have that power to say no. You've got that power to say no. In fact, I talk about how to say no to pushy people in this video right here coming up on the screen. I think that will be a great video for you to watch next. So check that out right now and enjoy it. Thanks again to my subscribers and returning viewers. I really appreciate you. Hit the like button and share this on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't done that. Stay blessed, stay positive, never give up, always stay true. Until next time, I'll see you on the next level. Peace.